Yo, what's going on, party people? It's been a minute. I look a mess, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make sure I go ahead and get this video recorded. Listen, one of the most popular things you see right now on YouTube, you probably see it on your homepage. You're probably searching for it, especially if you were a TikTok creator and you're coming over to the platform. One of the things you hear right now, everybody's saying, is that YouTube is pushing small channels. YouTube is pushing small creators. So there's never been a better time to get on the platform than now. And I do agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late. It's not an oversaturated market. You do need to get on YouTube. Here's the only problem I have with that information that's coming out. It's coming from large creators. You know what I'm saying? There are a few creators who are experiencing this huge rush of growth and everything, but for the most part, it's huge creators who are telling you what to actually do. And sometimes that information or the perspective can get a little skewed. So I don't necessarily consider myself to be a huge creator. I think I have huge impact. I've had the opportunity to work with some huge creators and some huge channels and do some great things, but I'm gonna take you into my analytics so I can qualify what I'm saying. And there are 5 specific things I need you to do, things I need you to consider. We're gonna call this the 5 T's that you need to remember. So if you don't remember anything else that I said today, I want you to remember the 5 T's. So let's go over here and jump. This is my analytics. This is not a screenshot or anything. You can see this is real time. We actually are in here. And so this is currently what has happened within the last 28 days. So just to kind of give you some context for what I'm saying, I don't know everything, but what I know, I do know. I don't consider myself to be a guru. I'm actually doing this with you. I am in the literal process of growing my channel. This is one of the 4 or 5 channels that I have, but this is my fragrance channel here specifically. And I'm gonna go over here to January. This is January of this year. So you can see 215,000, you know what I'm saying, views, watch time is up, subscribers is up. This is the estimated money that we made specifically from the channel. Now, here's the thing. People think you just make money from subscribers. The subscribers don't mean anything. The only time the subscribers mean something is when you're actually trying to become a member of the YouTube Partner Program and get subscribed. We make money from views. The views is what counts. So you cannot come to the platform having the same mentality that you would on a TikTok or Instagram where you're trying to get subs. No, you want subs to get monetized, but you need views to make money. And as far as making money, we get paid based on the RPM. You get paid per every 1,000 views. So I'm actually go into the revenue section here, and let's go to revenue here specifically. And this kind of gives you an idea, a floating picture of what's been going on. But if you look at the content performance here, see revenue for every 1,000 views. So basically they're going to take the views for that period, which was 95.9 thousand. All right. You can divide that by 1,000 and then multiply that by $7.31. Now I'm in the make the beauty, you know what I'm saying, personal care, beauty, perfume, fragrance, you know, niche industry, however that is categorized. So honestly, if I was in the fintech, you know what I'm saying, the financial literacy, the tech space or whatever, my monetary value, the revenue would actually be much higher. The revenue that we make over here, like in the fragrance space, because that's what I'm doing exclusive, is not that high. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to fight for the money that you make. And that's one of the things that people aren't talking about. They're like, yo, making money is easy. It depends on what niche you're in. Niche, tomato, potato. It depends on what industry you're in and the information that you are talking about. But again, a lot of people struggle with the watch time. We did 11.4K within 1 month. That was in January. All right. People are like, how you get 4,000 watch hours? It's easy. You need to make long videos. you need to make long videos, but they have to be videos that are engaging and videos that keep people's attention. You know what I'm saying? So you could look at this as, you know, we got monetized. If, you know, we started over, I was able to monetize in January. And honestly, once I rebooted my channel, because I originally started in full transparency in 2022, I will show you that. We can go to a lifetime. You can see here, channel started in 2022. You can basically see nothing happened. And then we get over here basically to August of 2024. And that's when everything takes off. and we hit our 1 million views this month. 45,000 watch hours, 9,000 subscribers, and that's the money right there. So again, depending on the niche that you're in, you're definitely probably going to make more money than I'm making, but I make most of my money off the platform. I use the platform to make money off the platform. That's a conversation for another day. This is a supplemental bag. It's not necessarily the real bag. But let me go ahead and get into the 5 T's, you know what I'm saying, that I want you to think about. All right, number one, the first T has to do with topic. All right, the first T has to do with topic. Why is that so important? Because here's the thing. It's not as simple as just getting up here, getting on the camera and getting on the microphone or whatever and think you can just run your mouth and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. This is where most people actually get it wrong, because it does not work like that. YouTube is not Instagram. It's not Facebook. It's not Snapchat. It's not, I was about to say Squarespace. It's not MySpace. It's not TikTok. You know what I'm saying? You do have elements of entertainment and where you can come over here and act the fool, but people are probably going to tune you out. You really got to focus on whether you're going to be an entertainer or whether you're going to be educational or whether you're going to stick to something specific. You know, you're going to build around relationships. You're going to build around financial literacy. You're going to build around sports. You know, it's vlogging. YouTube is not the biggest vlog space unless you're married, couples, or you have a family that people can really just fall in love with and fall in love with your personality. Couples are a big thing, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. Gossip, current events, that is a big thing on YouTube. So it's easy to tell people, if you don't know what to talk about what you're passionate about. I tell people like this: whatever you talk about in your group chat, that's what you need to come to YouTube and talk about. Because it's going to bring out the most personality in you. It's going to bring out the rawest form of you, and it's going to present the best conversation to people. So if you're considering that, people is like, so wait a minute, that means I don't need to necessarily come to YouTube by myself. No, you could come by yourself, but you need to pretend that the audience that you're speaking to, that I'm in the group chat with you. So I want you to speak to me. I want you to speak to camera like we talking in the group chat. You're going to be the most successful, unless, like I say, you're a teacher, you know, you're trying to teach something very specific, you're trying to coach somebody on something, or you're trying to build around a very specific topic, a very specific entity. So that's number one. The first T is topic. The second T is the title. Now, here's what I want you to realize. I don't want you to necessarily just write your title based on the actual thing that you're talking about, okay? So I want you to position yourself as the person who is actually searching for your content. One of the problems is that we create content for ourselves and we don't create content for our audience. If you want to be successful on YouTube, I think in any form of content creation on any platform, but if you want to be successful on YouTube, you need to be creating content for the audience and not necessarily yourself. And if that's the case, when writing your titles, you have to position yourself as an actual person watching your video. So I'm gonna jump back over here and we're gonna go back specifically into my content, and we're gonna talk about some title ideas, and I'm gonna tell you how I come up with some things. So let me get out of here. My ad. All right. Why can't I find my content? Actually, let me go directly in my channel because I'm acting slow. I'm acting super slow. All right, so this is actually a clip from a live stream that I did the other day. And we were talking about, you know, basically Middle Eastern fragrances. You're probably familiar with one of them, Latafa, and then talking about, is Latafa a niche house? All right, is Latafa a niche house? A lot of people, that's not a conversation I'm going to get into for the purposes of this video. But instead of me asking the question, is Latafa a niche house, I'm actually going to do something that's going to be a little bit more attractive and bring in more viewers, because there are people who may not necessarily be familiar specifically with the name Latafa, but there's a growing population of people that are familiar with the Middle Eastern fragrances. The shocking truth about Middle Eastern fragrance houses. Let's look at something else. So I primarily do a lot of product reviews, fragrance reviews. So I have the actual name of the product in the title, but I'm using YouTube like most people do as a search engine. So my titles are answering specific questions. So somebody may not know to go search for Rasasi Hawass Elixir, but somebody may come to YouTube and say, what's the best long lasting fragrance for men? So my title actually answers the question that they're looking for, because if they go to search, what's the best long lasting fragrance for men? Guess what video is probably going to pop up? Rasasi Hawass Elixir. Now you can see I posted this video 2 days ago. We already have 8.4 thousand views, 75 views per hour. Now to some people that doesn't sound like a lot. Trust me, in our industry, that is a lot. So let me say here, Rasasi Hawass Elixir. Guess whose video is ranked #1? Mine is. All right. So this is why titles are very, very, very super important. All right, now let's go to number 3. So the first T was topic. The second T was about the actual title. The third T is thumbnail. The thumbnail is very important because I want you to consider this. Look at it like a billboard on the highway. Think you're driving 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway. You can see that billboard coming, but somebody that's on YouTube, they're doing this right here. You got a split second to be able to stop and catch somebody's attention to make them be like, "Who? Okay, I wonder what's that's about. I see that here. See there's a glow effect. Okay, how to create glow effect in thumbnails the easiest way. That's something I'm probably going to click on because it speaks to me." The thing about the thumbnail is the thumbnail doesn't necessarily have to be all inclusive, but it does have to support the title. So your thumbnail doesn't necessarily have to have all the words that are specifically in your title, but it does need to support that. So I'm going to go back to my channel over here. All right. Y'all can see what I got going on. All right. Specifically, like, look what I do with shorts. Everything is the same thing. I want it to speak to what's actually going on. When you get to my videos, I want you to know exactly what's happening. You know, we got a picture of the bottle. We got a picture of the product. Sometimes it's not even, if you build your channel based on the personality of you, definitely put your picture in it because people are going to recognize you. But if you're talking about a specific product, you don't have to be in the picture. People don't care about you. That's a hard reality that people don't want to accept. People don't care about you to actually care about the product. Everything is consistent and everything looks the same, you know? So you can kind of see all of my videos started out with me kind of being the focus, and we still were doing numbers. We still were having some successful things there. You know what I'm saying? But I said, hey, as we get into the new year, let's actually start to switch it up where I don't necessarily want to be the star of the show, but I want the fragrance to be the star of the show. And you can kind of see when we kind of switched that thing up 3 weeks ago. French Avenue, Coco Morado, Yom and Leo, Love Again, this particular hack. You know what I'm saying? So again, it doesn't have to be all inclusive. I may not be saying that Lattafa Art of Arabia 3 is the best niche cologne fragrance. I don't have to put all of that in the thumbnail, but I have a picture here, a picture of that specific bottle, and then it speaks to what I actually have going on in the title. And then you can see the numbers that we've been able to do over the past several weeks. So thumbnails, you really want to kind of keep it simple. Keep the main thing the main thing. If you're doing product reviews and different things like myself, it's not so much about you unless you're popular and you've been able to establish that level of rapport and trust with your audience. So again, number 1, we talked about the actual topic. What is it that you're going to be talking about? Number 2, we talked about the title. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you write your titles and position them to answer questions. That way you come up in search results quickly. Number 3, the thumbnail. It doesn't have to be all inclusive. Think of it as a highway. If you're driving 75 miles an hour down I-85, you know what I'm saying? 85 on 85, that's how I kind of say it. Multiply that times 100. That's how fast people are actually scrolling on YouTube, social media. So make sure you're grabbing people's attention quick and keeping the main thing the main thing. And then number 4, I'm going to be talking about tags. Now, tags is something that people are saying they don't really matter. A lot of people say they're not as important as they used to be. I disagree because I'm also a web designer. I used to do a lot of web development and all of that using WordPress and different things like that. That's really not my life anymore, but I still incorporate it into my business because it incorporates the SEO. So one of the things we talk about as it relates to word development and SEO, which is search engine optimization, is that tags are like breadcrumbs. It helps lead lead people to your audience, and also it helps people find their way back home. It also helps the AI, the artificial intelligence. It helps the actual server, Google itself, because they own YouTube. It helps them find an appropriate audience to match with your content. One of the things I always say is that there is an audience assigned to your voice specifically. So let's go on my video. Let's go on the last video that I did, the Risasi Hawass video again, and let's look at the tag specifically that I use. All right, so let's go on the edit video. And tags, this goes hand in hand with titles. So we talked about SEO. So here's the thing, Risasi Hawass Elixir. You see these numbers right here? That means if I search for that, I'm gonna rank #1 for that search. If somebody searches for this, I'm gonna rank #2 for that. I'm gonna rank #3 here. I'm gonna rank #22 there. I'm gonna rank #1 there. I'm gonna rank #9 there. I'm gonna rank #20 here. I'm gonna rank #30 there. Why is that so important? Again, going back to what I said about titles, people use YouTube like a search engine. Now, I'm gonna make a fool of myself right here. Either I'm gonna be right or I'm gonna be wrong, but we're gonna go to Google and I'm gonna type in Risasi Hawass Elixir. Now, I'm not taking this out. I'm gonna leave this in the video. Either I'm gonna be right or I'm gonna be wrong. I can't fake this. I can't Photoshop this. Y'all just saw me type this in. Because what happens now, YouTube videos never used to show up in rank in search. Like videos from social media didn't used to show up. Over the past couple of years, what we've seen is that now YouTube videos are showing up. So it's not, so when we talk about search engine optimization, it's not the old way. This is why tags are still important. Now, is it life or death? Is it gonna make or break your content or your channel? Not necessarily, but there are things as it relates to how we want people to find our content. Most people know you find your content from the home page. IG, you call it explore page. TikTok, you call it the FYP, the For You page. For us, YouTube is the home page as well, but then you also want to make sure that people are finding you based on search. All right, so I'm gonna hit enter and let's just see what happens. And maybe I'm gonna make a fool of myself, maybe not. All right, so we got Risasi Hawass Elixir videos, and what do you see? Risasi Hawass Elixir Fat Boy Finesse. Now, what I wish they would do is actually show the numbers or whatever here. And seeing this, you know what video I'm probably gonna be more likely to click on myself? The video here that my man did. Because it's actually clearer me being able to see his thumbnail than you being able to see mine. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I didn't make a fool of myself per se, but even I'm looking at this and being like, you know what? I can do a better job on my thumbnail and I can make it, you know what I'm saying, even that much more appealing. So again, tags still matter. Don't look at it like hashtags on TikTok or hashtags specifically, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram, because it works totally different. Tags in this case, look at it like breadcrumbs, and it's part of the search engine optimization. I'm gonna give you a quick gem for those of you who are still watching up to this point, because I've been talking 18 minutes. I've been trying to give you a lot of great information, but I'm gonna give you a gem. I'm gonna show you something. A lot of people ain't gonna tell y'all this, but I'm gonna tell you this. So I want you to go into your analytics. So let's pretend I'm going into my analytics. Let's pretend I'm on my page. All right, boom. And now I'm gonna go over here to YouTube Studio. All right, you're gonna go down to analytics, and then you see this over here, click on trends. Get ideas for your next video. So this tells me what my audience is looking for. It's impossible for me to run out of ideas. So remember when I was talking about the topic and how you don't create content for yourself, you got to create content for your audience. Some of you, if you've been watching this long, this is going to save you a whole lot of trouble. Now, I don't know at what point trends are available, if it's a certain metric, if it's so many videos you have to already create. I would think there already has to be some type of analytics available for you to see on your channel. So this may not necessarily appear if you're just starting out. I can't guarantee that. But as for me and my house, if I'm running out of ideas, or if I'm trying to figure out what kind of content I need to create, hey, people are looking for it. Top 5 Lattafa perfumes for men, summer niche fragrances for men. cheap, fresh fragrances for men. So guess what kind of content I'm going to create? I'm going to create a video, top 5 Lattafa perfumes for men. Guess what my title will probably be? Top 5 Lattafa perfumes for men. Guess what I'm going to put in the tags? Top 5 Lattafa perfumes for men. And then guess what the picture, the thumbnail is going to be? You get inspiration here. It's going to be a picture of a whole bunch of Lattafa fragrances like this one over here to the right. Lattafa perfume dupes. What I really love about this, if you click on these 3 dots though, or actually if you click on it, it actually shows you what the interest is. And it says very high interest. Many of your viewers have been watching videos about this topic in the last 28 days. And so you can save them. You can add it to your favorites. You can look at other things. You can brainstorm ideas with the AI. And again, it still shows you the shorts and all those other things that people are watching for. So listen, that is a gem. I appreciate those of you who are still watching. And number 5, I'm about to give you the most important thing of this whole video. Number 1, we talked about the topic. Number 2, we talked about the title. Number 3, we talked about the thumbnail. Number 4, we talked about the tags. Number 5, timing. Here's the thing. You can excel at number 1. You can have the greatest topic ever to talk about. Number 2, you can write the greatest titles ever. Number 3, you can have the most beautiful thumbnails. Number 4, you can be cerebral, have the greatest search engine optimization ever. But here's the reality, and here's what people don't tell you. Number 5 is timing. If it's not your time, it's not your time. Let's go back to my channel. What did I tell y'all? If you look at the life of my channel, when did I say it start? It started in 2022. That's when I started the channel. You see this right here? That's when I started the channel. You see this right here? Now, part of that is I also wasn't necessarily creating content either. So that's not a realistic example from that standpoint, because I jumped back to this channel to start doing more tech reviews and different things like that, because that's what people wanted to see. But even the videos that I were creating and I was using the same techniques, nobody was checking for me. Nobody was checking for me a whole 2 years until something started to happen. Because I hadn't created no video in March. You see, this is dead. Zero. You might see a 1 every now and then. This is a small little spike. But all of a sudden something happened and people started looking for things and my videos started showing up in rank. And it wasn't until August when I started creating content again. And because there was already a little bit of life starting to come back to my channel, boom. Then this is when we started taking off. Why is that important? Shout out to my boy Tazo, the reviewer. Some of you may know who he is. Another brother in the fragrance community. But he said something so paramount. And he said, you got to treat YouTube like the stock market. You got to set it and forget it. YouTube is not, it's where you come to build your chops. It's where you come to get your respect. I know a lot of people right now are focused on trying to get rich quick. Here's the reality of it. Some of you are going to see the length of this video and you're probably not going to watch it. Because you're going to be like, what in the world? I don't want to hear what he got to say. But I guarantee you the information that I'm giving you in these 25 minutes will serve you 10 times better, in my opinion, than probably 90% of the other information that you're going to get. Because the reality of it is that, yes, there's an opportunity for us all to get there, but we're not all going to get there at the same rate. Some of us are going to get there quicker than others. And what I see happening is that people are getting quote unquote duped, for lack of a better term, or we're getting our hopes up and expectations too high and they're not realistic, because you come to the platform thinking it's TikTok and you're just going to get immediate engagement like that. And it doesn't necessarily work like that. For some people, it's going to happen. But what they don't tell you is they got, I'm not going to say lucky, but they hit it at the right time. The algorithm happened to be looking for what they were providing at the right time. And they took off. And guess how they get paid now? They get paid telling you to do things that they don't even do anymore. Because the reality of it is they got hot at the right time. This is why we saw so many creators over the past couple of years coming out of the pandemic get burned out, because they kept doing the same things over and over. And it's like, I can't do this anymore because the times have changed. So that's what's really happening. It's not even so much that YouTube is pushing small creators. It's that the expectation of the viewer and consumer on YouTube is changing. And it has presented a huge opportunity for small creators to put your stamp on this next period of time, this next era that's happening, you know, for the creators. So listen, it may take you 10 videos. It may take you 10 years worth of videos. I have published, let's see how many videos I've published on my channel. It's supposed to tell me somewhere. How many videos? It's somewhere. I'm right at like 212, something like that. It used to be somewhere I could actually see the number, but it's like 212. You know what? I can go in TubeBuddy and I can see it. I'm at 217 uploads. 217 videos. It might take you 217 videos. It might take you 2,000 videos. But do you have what it takes to keep uploading? So yeah, I know we want to get rich quick. I know we got this microwave mentality and we want to get monetized fast. I'm lucky enough to be one of those people. It kind of worked out for me. I was able to monetize my channel. After I rebooted and started creating content in August, I was able to do it in less than 30 days. The subscribers was easy. The watch time was easy. You just got to be able to keep people's attention for a long time. Make longer content, but make sure it's purposeful and engaging. Some people gonna love it. Some people gonna hate it. But guess what? You're gonna be monetized. But regardless of whether all of these gurus that are teaching us how to grow our channels, regardless of the fact of whether they hit it right at the first time, the one thing I commend them for is that they maximized their opportunity and they took advantage of the moment. And you got to do the same thing. So take advantage of this opportunity, maximize the moment, and stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So this time next month, you're not getting ready. This time next year, you're not getting ready. Go ahead, start today, get started. Them 5 T's, I promise you, you don't have to know everything about YouTube. But if you start creating content with those 5 T's in mind, or you start moving forward, especially if you're stuck and what you're doing is not working, using those 5 T's to create content as you move forward, I promise you, I cannot promise you that you're gonna get monetized tomorrow. I cannot promise you that you can get monetized in 30 days. But what I can promise you is that before it's all said and done, definitely by the end of this year, you're gonna make more money off the, if you listen to me, you're gonna make more money off the platform than you are on the platform. These people are trying to tell you how to make money on the platform. Baby, you can monetize your content before you even become a partner of the YouTube program. We're gonna talk about that more. But until next time, y'all be easy. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great evening.